But yeah, it just got old fast. And now I'm, like, actively trying to find a solution to these problems without losing my mind or being terribly rude about it. And currently my solution is to be mildly rude about everything. Which, yeah, I realize that is not a good solution, but, like, god damn it, I have no idea what to do. I want to see what happens when I try and take a more proactive approach. I went to, so, I started a series on a game called Nowhere Profit. Fantastic game, I'm really excited to play more of it. I was gonna play more of it today, but no, I need to play some Forager because I'm out of Forager. And so, Nowhere Profit is a deck builder roguelike, much in the same style as Slay the Spire. One of those games that I did really, really well with a year and a half ago and really enjoyed. But the problem was, I had like a billion people just shaming me for just how bad I was playing. To the point where, like, I literally searched in my own comment section, because I have some extra, like, comment management tools. I decided to look up how often the word misplay shows up in my comment section on YouTube. And the answer was 938 times over the course of almost entirely Slay the Spire. And, like, that's a little bit much. And so, yeah, I tried pointing this out to people, and I can safely say I've been called a soy boy cock 3 times. People have questioned whether or not I'm even a man. And just, like, a bunch of other stuff, and it's like, man, people get really upset when I try and enforce boundaries on YouTube. Or anywhere, really. It's strange. Okay, so he wants the skeleton thing. Now, let's see, let's do this. You have to ignore the trolls on YouTube. The thing is, like, there's a difference between ignoring them. Okay, so I've seen what happens when, like, a YouTuber just straight up ignores the trolls. And, like, they just stop reading YouTube comments. And, like, the Twitch streamers will stop reading their stream comments. I mean, usually Twitch streamers, it's just going so fast that, yeah, you're never gonna be able to read it either. But, like, for me, I at least would like to read my comment section. And so, yeah, I can ban the trolls, but, like, after a certain point, I'm literally just banning everybody. And, like, I'd like to put out that warning before I ban everybody. At which point, I might as well just turn off my comment section entirely. Let's see, if you said, thanks for the suggestion and ignore the comment. Person asking probably didn't know. It varies. So in this case, Bardcastle had no idea. And I totally, you know, apart from my, like, over-the-top, like, lighthouses. In a lot of these cases, the comments actually show up straight up in a video where I've said, I can't use lighthouses. Like, I think very specifically in the beginning of the Millionaire challenge. This is such an old topic for me at this point. It sucks. But, like, I start the challenge and say, I can't use lighthouses. And I got 3 comments from people being like, lighthouses. And it was not even ironic. And it's like, I think there's a certain point where I shouldn't be expected to inform everybody in every single comment. If they're not even going to bother to watch my video. I don't know. It's like, I mean, I've told this before. People asking, Wander, are you gonna play X? Like, I've had a billion people ask me if I'm gonna play Dragon Quest Builders 2. And it's like, of course. Why do you even have to ask that question? That's a silly question, of course. The answer is yes. Wander, you're gonna play... What's another game that's coming up? Oh god, I had a billion people asking me, Wander, are you gonna play Anthem? And then after the fact, nobody gave a shit because the game was bad. Like, for every person that showed up to ask me whether or not I was going to play one of those games, almost none of them actually came back when I started playing the game, so it's just like, alright, well, never mind. But no, I don't know. It's just like... What are you supposed to do when nobody listens to you? After a certain point, yeah, you get kind of snippy. It sucks. I've had the same problem. People like to get mad at me because I'm pro-censorship. In, like, very specific cases. Oh, no, I'm actually kind of pro-censorship when, like, I'm censoring something that is, like, disgusting or downright, like, not okay. So, in an anime game, there's like a Lita character, and you get to see her underwear in the Japanese version, and I'm like, that's not alright. And I was more or less talking about that. I'm like, yep, I'm fine with this getting censored because that's creepy. And I have had quite a lot of people try and shame me for that one, and I'm like, there's no helping you. I really gotta go make some keys. But yeah, so like, the real answer is just down to, there aren't enough comment moderation tools that I have without like actively banning things or shutting it off entirely. And it's not so bad on, like, Twitch, specifically, because for the most part, there's kind of this constant, like, feedback loop of other people, kind of responding. It's not just a dialogue between other people and me. YouTube can be a little bit more on the, variable side of things. It's not uncommon where somebody will, like, make ask a question that anybody could answer, but nobody will answer because nobody else cares. That's incredibly helpful, actually. And on YouTube, no one but me moderates the comments, which, like, I get 1,000 times more comments on YouTube than I ever do on, like, Twitch, for example. See, what's wrong with panties? Is the character a minor? Yeah, the character... I think the character is supposed to be an adult, but they absolutely look like a tween. And, like, I'm not comfortable with it. It doesn't matter if the character's, like, a 5,000-year-old dragon, or, you know, a 12-year-old. If they look 12, they're 12. Doesn't matter to me. I had one friend that was absolutely tiny in college, and she got a lot of untoward attention from people. Just because they were creepy, and, like, it sucked. Because she was a lovely person, and, like, the amount of people that were just, like, being gross in or around her was just, like, not okay. But yeah, I don't know, I've never really liked that about anime or JRPGs, which sucks because it's, like, one of my favorite genres. And it's like, I'll like, load up a game, and then we'll get to some kind of, like, mildly pedo section, and I'm like, no! I do not like that. I have a tolerance for a fair bit, but there are a couple of topics where after a certain point, it just kills my enthusiasm for a game. A lot of people actually do this with, dogs and pets dying in video games. Recently, Shell and I played... We played a game called, Plague Tale. There we go. Plague Tale Innocence, which, spoilers, starts off with an animal dying. And a lot of people were, I'm gonna say understandably, not okay with that, because it's not something I think a lot of people want to see. And in a lot of cases, people sympathize with an animal's death more than they will a human. We get a little desensitized, I guess. We need drilling just so I can get a little bit of plastic. And so, like, it's super easy to just, like, ignore a human's death in a video game because, I mean, how many of us have seen, like, humans die semi-graphically, in fact, in a video game? I can almost guarantee it's, like, a vast majority of us. Whereas, like, you don't get to see, say, like, somebody's beloved pet dog get offed very often. And it's there very much to, like, get an emotional rise out of people. And I think it's very successful in that, but it's something that a lot of people are not comfortable with, and I respect that. It's not something that bothers me as much as long as it's not gratuitous. I think my usual problem is some of them can be a little gratuitous, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that as much. That is a hell of a lot of bricks. We are going to be in Bricktown forever. Hey, thank you, Gav, for the 23-month resub. 23 months and I'm still here. You can never get rid of me. That's okay. You're a cool dude. You can stick around. Alright, we should kill some boners. But yeah, I'm sure almost everybody actually has a topic or two that are kind of like past their comfort level, or like, you know, the moment it shows up in a game, it just absolutely destroys their interest in the game. Let's see. Now, if I put this right here, it really does cover almost that entire area. I really should probably rip up some of these. And, like, move it around and... I don't know, whatever. I don't think you've ever gotten anything like that. Alright. For me, it's actually pointless grind walls. The moment I hit like a ultra pointless grind wall in a video game is usually the point where I start cheating really hard, or I stop playing entirely. If you've noticed, there's quite a lot of JRPGs that I've never finished on my channel, and probably never will. Unfortunately, because there's like let's see. Because there's just not enough time in a given day for me to ever, like, cover those. Okay. But yeah, so when I run into one of those, it's not exactly a taboo topic, but whenever it shows up, it just destroys me. Which is weird, because I really like grinding in games. I think I just need it to feel either meaningful or fun. And so, like, for this game, the grind is the game, but also kind of a process. You can get around it. When you know what you're doing, a lot of the grind actually kind of disappears. Or at least doesn't feel terribly grindy. Okay, do we level up? I guess the other thing I could look into is maybe increasing my damage. Is there? Yeah. We need 1 level, and then I'm gonna increase my damage. Should maybe get a little bit of health. We'll see. But yeah, I want to get lasers. So the mining rods clear through the resources faster. Then we might look into getting deposits. Anywho. So now that we've done that... I'm gonna give up on the windmills. At least, I'm gonna have 1 windmill going, but I think what I'm gonna use it for is just to get rid of all of the other seeds. And do some other things. Yeah, what if the grind is fun and interesting? That's Factorio. Like, Factorio is a perfect example of a game where the grind is fun and interesting. What I don't like is, like, a JRPG, for example, where... Maybe not Persona. Persona's a bit of a mixed bag on that one. Let's see. Is this the same run that's currently on YouTube? Yep. So hopefully we can finish it up tonight. We'll see. Let's see. Magical. Can I make a shrine? Yes. I need a hell of a lot more bricks. Excavator. Hell yeah. Well, that's a nice little boost. It's mostly gems, but still. And Monster Hunter as well. Well, yeah, that's because the gameplay is, like, I'm not gonna say flawless, but it's pretty dang good. But yeah, there are absolutely games where the grind is fun, but, like, I remember playing Persona 5, and after a certain point, it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna need to grind to actually be able to, like, get through the end here without, you know, getting crushed by certain things. And I'd already kind of lost my enthusiasm for that game because the game's already 90 hours long. Like, you really don't need to pad your game out with grinding in a JRPG that long. Just straight up, just even level the game out so that there is no leveling system. Just everything's even, and it's all down to, like, player customization builds and strategies instead. Maybe? I don't know. Let's see. So we've got that. We're good here. But yeah, no, I will absolutely enjoy the grind when it's fun. Recently I've been playing Fell Seal, and it reminds me very much of, like, well, Final Fantasy Tactics from back in the day. And on one hand I enjoy it, on the other hand, I just wish it went faster. You know, it needs, like, some speed settings, or, like, an EXP booster when you're just doing maps that you've already done, so you go a little bit faster. Let's see. Hey, conductor, can you make a command about lighthouses? Because I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, I'm actually gonna lose my shit and start, like, yelling or something. I realize that this is some pointless thing, but, like, not 5 minutes goes by without somebody showing up to ask about lighthouses in this challenge, and it is, like, I think I'm always gonna have to have lighthouses in my series because people are not going to let me not have lighthouses. And that's maddening. Let's see, if you don't like bad grinds, what are your thoughts on idle games? It varies very much on a game-to-game basis. I haven't played a whole lot of idle games, so I'm not a very good one. Yeah, that would be perfect, Conductor. I haven't actually played a whole lot of good idle games yet. As weird as it is, I would actually call this kind of similar to many idle games. It is very much an incremental game, it just doesn't realize it. Like, the developers straight up... I don't know if they didn't think of it, but, like, this is so close to being an incremental game, and it would be amazing if it was actually, if it actually started incorporating some incremental game mechanics. That said, most of the incremental games I've played thus far have been, like, Great Hero's Beard, which is fun, but very repetitive, and almost uninteresting. Because you're effectively just going out, fighting the same monsters, and then prestiging a couple of times, until you can eventually beat the last boss. Let's see, to be honest, the red tints from the lighthouses throw you off. Glad you're not using them. There's actually a secret setting you can turn on that makes it so you can't see lighthouse AoEs. Same thing with mining rods and stuff. It looks nice. It still shows up when you're putting them down, but you don't have to see them. Hopefully it's just a toggle, for the future, because I think that would be a nice change of pace. But yeah, at some point I want to sit down and actually play some more incremental games. Very specifically... what are the really good ones? There's a couple that I've heard of that I'd like to play. I think my main problem is just, like, bigger numbers for the sake of bigger numbers is not interesting to me. When it comes to idle games, I prefer idle games to have, like, interesting progression systems than just, like, you're doing quintillion damage! Because, like, that's actually where I lose the script. That's where I lose interest, because at that point the number has no meaning. It's like, okay, yes, I do, like, 5 Googleplex something damage. And, like, yeah, obviously it would be... It's fun to have those big numbers, but the appeal of it wears off fast. You know, I guess most famously, or at least most notably for my channel, I played Clicker Heroes 2 a while back. And I was bored to tears. I thought it was absolute garbage. And really did not enjoy the experience in the slightest. Because it wasn't an interesting game. You know, it had the hallmarks of something that could have maybe could have been interesting, but as it stood, no. It was just dull and repetitive, and yeah, sure, I was doing quintillions of damage, but the game never changed. Yeah, most idle games are microtransaction cows. Yeah, and that's also kind of something that kills it for me, because I really don't like microtransactions in, like, anything. I am very much not interested in spending money on... I would rather buy a game up front and then never see a single microtransaction, or, like, you know, maybe pay $5 for a silly hat. But the moment the gameplay actually involves, like, any kind of microtransaction, like, do this to go a little bit faster, it's like, nope, I have lost all interest in this product. Let's see. But yeah, I would like to delve deeper into the idle / like incremental game genre, because I know there's quite a lot of like gems out there that are actually quite good. I just have yet to have the... I have never had the time to actually sit down and do so. If we get a certain point this year where, like, games stop coming out so freaking much, yeah, then I'll actually have the time to sit down and be like, yeah, let's try some incremental games. Let's see if they're any good. And sadly, that hasn't happened yet. My god, I need so many bricks. Luckily, I'm making it a silly amount of bricks. do we do dexterous or merchant? I don't know. I guess I'll do merchant. We can sell a couple of things. Probably start saving onks. I kind of need great skulls for a couple of things, but it's not much. Oh, we can sell all the beet seeds, though. I'll do it. That's some money. Let's see. Hey, Wander, how's your weekend? Lighthouses. No, my weekend's been going fine. Let's see. Reduce all coin costs by 15%. I wonder if that actually includes lands. I don't know. Either way, we should probably do inscription tables so I can get that EXP bonus. Because currently I am not utilizing that, and I really should have done so a while back. Luckily, all it requires is a brick. Moldy book. I need paper. Paper! I probably shouldn't have done that. But that's fine. Yeah, now developers making you buy up front and then adding microtransactions afterwards. That is something that immediately makes me... lose interest in a game. If a developer starts adding microtransactions after the fact, especially when they said they weren't going to, oh... But I also don't play those games, like Call of Duty. If I remember right, that's what they did. I think they were trying to do some kind of, like, ridiculous triple dip, too. Which, like, yeah, hard pass. I barely have enough time to finish the games that, like, I do play. There's only a couple of games that I play to perpetually, I guess? I don't know. Pronunciation's hard sometimes. But, like, there are a couple of games that I will absolutely... Oh, you know what? Let's just sell the rest of my gems. I need them. Ah. Shit, this might go a lot faster than I thought. Okay, so... I'm gonna waste a bunch of money real quick. Like, realistically, if we get up... If I can get that one shovel, we might actually be able to just make all of the money we need to make, like, right now. Plonk that down there. I need more bricks. Son of a brick! How many bricks do I need? See, Overwatch handled the loot crate system well. Honestly, I really don't like loot crates, period. They make me uncomfortable. And I realize, like, most people probably don't care, and you enjoy, like, most people will probably enjoy them anyway. For me, my problem with loot crates is straight up just, like, as somebody that does not have enough time, I need to go get the better shovel. As somebody that does not have enough time in a given day or whatever, to, like, play any of these games, I would rather be able to just buy the skin at a slight markup than have to gamble away a bunch at the off chance of maybe getting what I want. It's like, I'd rather just buy, like, the one skin I want for a character and then never use anything else and just be happy with that. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, and it's like, well, I guess I'll just kind of go with whatever. It's like, it's okay. But then again, like, games like Overwatch just don't interest me to begin with. I will maybe play, like, I don't know, 2 hours of a competitive FPS every month, if even. And that's usually good enough for me, actually. I usually will not bother more than that. Okay, well, we got I'm actually kind of low on wood. Maybe this would be a good point to make a bit of a sapling farm. Oh, good. I'm gonna work on that one. But yeah, for me, I'd rather... Oh, what games have I done this in? I'd rather do what I do in Warframe, where I straight up just, like, will buy Tennogen stuff. Actually, that's it. Loot boxes are kind of nice, but I prefer Warframe's Tennogen. I prefer a lot of what Warframe does over most anything else, just because... it might not actually be more holistic, but it at least feels more holistic than most games. And, like, after playing a significant amount of Warframe, most other games that involve, like, an insane amount of... most other games that involve a severe amount of grinding just feel... tepid and unrewarding. Like, I don't know, I guess that's what it is. Like, between Path of Exile and Warframe, like, almost every other games as a service games that I've played, like, they just don't feel good. Okay, so I need a lot more bricks. Shoot, I need a lot more coal. I make one more royal steel, because if I can get that, that gets me the next level of... not shovel, druid sword. I'm not necessarily convinced that that's actually worth it, but I don't know, whatever. Mainly, we gotta just get the next level of shovel. Once we got that, everything else is easier. The biggest problem with microtransaction is you pay money to the game devs. When you buy a game, comes down to it, you're paying for an experience, enjoying that. Let's see. I made some content for you that I believe you want, so if you pay me an effort, you get in whatever. Microtransactions, on the other hand, are most and cut off. Okay. It varies for me. I'm fine with microtransactions as long as it doesn't feel unfair. Or, like... if it fits in a game, it doesn't bug me too much. And I realize that that's like a 180 from how I used to be. Because, like, when I was younger, I used to think horse armor was the shittiest thing ever. And I was furious about its existence. And nowadays, I'm a little bit more desensitized because I do realize that, like, development costs a shit ton of money. But I almost never buy DLC for AAA games. Mainly because I don't even really play AAA games. Like, I will play a AAA game if it lands in my inbox, or if it's, like, one of those few games that I absolutely have to play. What's an easy... well, Dragon Quest Builders 2, there we go. There's a game that, no matter what, I will be playing that game. I don't even... well, okay, no, I would care if it turned out that Square Enix was using literal slave labor to make the game. At that point, I'd probably give it a hard pass. Just because, like, gah. But, like, alternate thing, Fallout 76. The DLC in that game makes no goddamn sense. None of it is good, and the game is already, like, too shallow to warrant it. It doesn't feel satisfying. And earning that stuff is not enjoyable in the slightest. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to, like, grind out to get, like, a new paint for my power armor. Like, okay, if it was a power armor that made me look like Mecha Abraham Lincoln, yeah, I could go with that. But no, it's like, my power armor is Americanized. It's like, who gives a shit? I've got the Nuka-Cola skin. It cost me $7. And I'm like, I paid $5 for a really sweet skin for, you know, one of my Warframes that some artist had, you know, put a bunch of time and passion into and made, like, a really good product. And I think all of that money went to that artist. I don't know if DE profits from Tennogen stuff. I don't think they do. Or if they do, it's very small, but I think for the most part, it all goes to the artist, or some amount. And, like, I have no qualms about doing that. That feels actually good to me, because I don't feel like I wasted my money. I got something nice out of it, and I'm not just throwing it to some corporate overlord. Let's see. I gotta go make some more sushi. I keep selling it. Which, like, is justified, but still. Hey, thank you, Pain Train, for the 10-month resub. Let's see. D does profit from TennoGen. They split the profit with the creator. I mean, either way, that's acceptable for me. It provides an opportunity for artists to make kind of a passive income. And maybe it's not worth it for a lot of them, but like, I have not seen a whole lot of stuff that comes through TennoGen that wasn't really good. Oops, that's the wrong thing I was trying to kill. And so, like, yeah, if Fallout 76 introduced a program where they were, you know, more or less hosting really sweet skins for things and splitting it with the artist, okay, maybe I could work with that. But, what it currently has is just depressing and not worth it. Let's see, right. I was gonna plant a bunch of saplings. Holy shoot, citrus converts into a lot of trees here.